Firstly, I'd like to thank AUSVEG for inviting me to talk about our beetroot project. I'm going to start by just explaining a little bit about this beetroot project for anyone who's not seen this out there. We have been looking at beetroot products and the prepared beetroot market for many years. We had been looking into Europe, and in Europe, beetroot has been eaten in the prepared format that we're now selling for a number of years, over 20 years. So we could see there was an opportunity, and we were just waiting for the right timing to bring this to Australia. So in Australia, very much beetroot is sold fresh in the fresh produce area, and in grocery, in jars and in tins, majority in tins in Australia. So the perception in the tin is it's quite a step away from a fresh product. It's processed, less healthy, potentially. And in produce, there was quite a barrier to purchase. It's quite messy. A lot of people didn't know how to process or use fresh beetroot, although that's certainly increasing now. So we saw it was a great time to launch this new category. Fresh prepared beetroot, ready to eat, with none of the nasties that you get in a tin. So we started looking at this about 4 or 5 years ago. So in 2010, we were looking at the canned beetroot market in Australia was about $43 million. That's about 17,000 tonnes of beetroot a year, so a very big market. But fresh beetroot was still small, so there's only about 4% of households really buying beetroot in the fresh format. And it was how do we take this to the next level? How do we get Australians to eat more beetroot? We know how much they love beetroot, and we think they're very keen to eat it in the fresher format. So we partnered with a UK company called G's Fresh. They're based in Cambridgeshire in England, and they had recently launched their beetroot production into the States, and we're looking for a partner on the other side of the world to sell into Australia and to the Asian market. So we partnered with them and have licensed deal with them for the growing, the processing, and also the branding. Using their knowledge, we've managed to hit the ground running and launch this range of products with a lot less time and effort spent than starting from scratch ourselves. We think it's a great brand, we really love it, and we now have access to their the global look and feel, the global branding, and the global MPD that's coming along after it. So we tested the market in Australia with an import trial. We brought in the vacuum packed beetroot and sold that into as many retailers as we could, just to justify that people would eat beetroot in this format, and luckily they did. And we then, in 2013, built a facility down in Victoria to process ourselves. 2013 and 14 were all about launch, getting the Australian product out there, getting into as many channels as we could, and extending the range. We're now in the position where we've got pretty good coverage into the channels out there, and we're really starting to look at where else we can sell. So we've started to export at the end of last year, and this year we're really keen to take that to the next level. So meet our beetroot. We have the core of the range is the 250 gram or 500 gram freshly cooked beetroot, ready to eat. There's nothing in there other than beetroot, no sugar or salt, and a great product. We've also got some fresher packs with a shorter shelf life, which have been flavour infused with, we've got a chili version, a balsamic vinegar, and that sweet mild vinegar, more traditional to that can flavour that people are so used to. So these are perfect for antipastos, for salads, and snacking. So what's worked for us is, and this applies to both the export market and Australia, is from the start it's a new product for Australia. and for the markets that we're targeting. So it's all about marketing to all levels of the supply chain. It's getting growers engaged. We're asking growers to do things they've never done before, to grow beetroot in ways that they haven't grown it before, all the way through the supply chain to the wholesale agents we use, to the retailers, and then onto the consumer. The biggest barrier we found was getting people to try the product. Once they'd tried it, they're coming back for more, and we're starting to really see some traction. When you're selling a product like this, it's a very small product. So we sell a lot of bag salads and other products. So getting the focus on such a little unique product that needs quite a lot of consumer education was another part that we've spent a lot of time with retailers, making sure that they're displaying it and putting out educational information for consumers, and making sure that it's available in as many retailers as is possible. So not only in the big retailers, but in the greengrocers and online, even in Australia, and keep educating the consumer, talking to them about what to do with the product, how to use it. And this we're very much replicating as we're starting to do our export program as well. We're pleased to see that this is starting to have some traction. We're really in the second full year, coming to a third of our local production, and we use Nielsen data to see how we're tracking, and we've hit the numbers this year, and have got household penetration of vacuum packed beetroot is sitting around 6.8%, which we're really happy with, that it's established itself enough that people know what it is. This is just a bit of a snapshot of our customers we've now got across Australia, New Zealand, Hong Kong and Singapore, and we're soon to be expanding that into a few more Asian markets. Where this is a great product for export, there's a number of different attributes that this packaging gives us. So with the majority of our business, where we're selling bag salads, you're under enormous pressure on shelf life, cool chain, and time is not on your side to export. So this is one of the reasons we've never gone down that path. With the beetroot, we're lucky enough to have shelf life. The vacuum pack gives us up to 6 months shelf life. The temperature control, it's essentially an ambient product. We always keep it in a chilled environment, but you take away a lot of that risk when you're shipping on planes and containers where you have less control. It's a great, the package gives you the opportunity to market what it is. If we were selling a fresh beetroot product, I think you've got less opportunities to sell your message. The branding and the education of a product like this, especially into Asian markets where they're not eating a lot of beetroot at the moment, is proved invaluable. So this year, about 7% of our beetroot sales went export, and I've got the target for next year that we get that up to 15%. So to do that, we've got some quite big targets in place. And some of the things that are really important when marketing to the Asian market and to the export customers that I've learnt along the way is really not grouping everyone together as one. You're marketing to a number of different countries and cultures, and you've got to be as specific as you can. For us, it's a long-term partnership. We want this to grow over a number of years. It's not a short-term win. We're doing marketing specific with countries. I've just put up some examples here. We've got recipe cards translated, using our partners' help in each region to use the tools that are best in that country, because what works in one often doesn't work in another. We're finding a lot of our recipes that we design in Australia, they're not relevant to some of the countries we're selling to, so working with our partners in these countries to find the recipes and flavours that work better. Beetroot on a burger isn't something that they're eating in Hong Kong. So where it fits in their recipes and where is really important. As in Australia, you've got to have a long-term commitment to the consumer education. So trialling and sampling, which often can be quite costly but pays off in the long term, is, we think, the way with this. And just looking at it really as a long-term investment. The first few months of our sales into Asia, we just didn't know if it was going to be worth it. Are people going to be eating this product? Are they going to keep trying? But if you keep putting in the effort, then suddenly it'll really start to take off. And we've been really pleased with how it's progressed. So we really see that as our business grows, that the export market is going to be really important. There's only so much we'll be able to sell internally, so if we want to continue to grow, we're going to rely on those markets to continue to grow with us. And it's a great market out there. There's so many different people, population far bigger than Australia across these regions, so there'll be, we hope that we can continue the run as we've seen it. So, thank you, everybody.